Hey everyone, it's Sean McKenzie back with another video for my buyers. So if you saw my last video, we submitted the Binzer to the seller with the list of repairs that we would like in the house. We've gotten that back now, and we've discussed whether they were going to fix most of or all of the items on that list. And so we're going to continue along with the next step. So the next step in the process is the appraisal. So what happens is, after we get everything back and we are sure that we're ready to go on to the next step of the appraisal, we're going to reach out to your lender and have them order the appraisal. And how that works is they send it out to a third-party company. That company then disperses that out to anybody that's willing to pick up the job, and then they pick up the job and they do the appraisal. So it's completely random. Nobody has any say in who's appraising their home. So there's no kind of funny business or anything like that that could go on. It's completely random. So after about a week or so, we're gonna get the appraisal back, and it can say one of two things. It can say appraised at value, which is great. That's exactly what we want, and that's the whole point of the offer that we wrote, and the whole point of how the house was priced. Another thing that could happen just depends on the parameters of what the appraiser uses compared to what I use, or if I have to reach out to my partner Preston or some other professionals to maybe help me out. Maybe there's just not a lot of comps in the area, and I have to kind of expand my search and try and figure out what the best value of that home is going to be. There's definitely a few things that could mismatch between what I do and if somebody else is helping me, what they do and what the appraiser does. So there is definitely a possibility that it could come back lower than what we are at. Maybe we even had to offer a little bit more just to get to the house and just to get into this point, knowing that it may not appraise, and we may have the upper hand in negotiating to the point of what it's going to be appraised at. So what that means, if it doesn't get appraised at the value, there's a few things that can happen. The seller and the selling agent and the homeowner can talk, and they can decide to come down to that appraised value, which means we just come down to that. Everything else stays the same. If you have concessions, you'll still be getting those concessions. They'll just come down to the purchase price of the home. Or they could decide not to. Maybe they really believe their house is worth that amount of money and the appraiser was wrong, and maybe they've disputed it and it still came back at lower than what we were initially offering at. So at that point, what you can do is you can get out of the deal. You can back out and say, I don't want to pay out of pocket the difference, and I can get my earnest money back, and we would go back out and start looking at other homes. So what that means about having to pay out of pocket is, let's say the house we are offered at $300,000 and the appraisal comes back at $295,000. So that would mean that if they don't want to come down, they don't want to negotiate anything, there's just no give and take from either side. That would mean that at the signing table, on top of paying your closing costs and paying your down payment, you're now also going to have to pay that difference of $5,000 to make it at the appraised value, because obviously a lender is not going to give you more money than what the house is actually worth. So when we negotiate, like I was saying, we can negotiate pretty much everything. We can kind of almost start over in the negotiating, with concessions, or maybe they didn't want to give up their washer and dryer, but they did, and maybe we can give that back to them, and that could be kind of a way to be even with everything. It's pretty much just kind of almost starting back at the negotiation table at that point. But hopefully, like I said, I've done my job correctly, and if I will definitely let you know if I think it may be a little bit overpriced and it may not appraise at that value. We can still try and get it at that, offer what they're asking, especially if there are other offers on the table. But I'll definitely let you know, and I'll also reach out to my other partners that I'm with, like Preston White, because I'm part of his group, and he can definitely help me out with the comps and trying to make sure that we figure out what's going on. So I'm definitely going to take my time and make sure we do get the house to appraise at the value that we've offered. That way we don't have to go through any of those new negotiations, or having the potential of the homeowner not wanting to come down if it does appraise under value. So I know that's a lot of information about the appraisal process. If you have any questions, definitely DM me or comment here on this video. If I've sent this to you in a personal message and we're getting ready to start the appraisal process, awesome. We are one step closer to getting you your keys and getting you into your home. The next set of videos that we're going to have are going to be the title company is going to talk about what is going to happen the day that you sign for the house, around kind of the time period and the time frame that when we will record on the house. And then I will have another video that's just me that talks about what happens when we do record on your house and we set up a time to get you your keys and you can start moving in. So thanks for watching. Once again, if you have any questions, comment or direct message me. If you don't have my phone number, it's 480-353-6963. I'll be glad to answer any questions. And if you're ready to get this process started and you want to get to this point like some of my other clients are, then we can get started and definitely reach out. So thanks again for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.